Today I'm sharing a strategy I use to defeat the Caretaker, and although I'm not walking through every step of the mission, here are a few things to help you along the way. For power stations, throw nodes instead of walking with them. It's faster, and you can throw them to each other. And if you don't have others with you, Bosco can carry one. Remember that they go straight up a wall. This is a long mission, so anything to speed this part up will be helpful. Use platforms to protect Haxi when you can, and make sure your gear is ready for fighting robots. Armor break, ranged weapons, and certain sludge gun builds can be very helpful throughout this mission. But the real challenge here is the Caretaker. And this is how I deal with it. First, you can minimize the amount of melee damage from Doc Ock's arms here by picking one of them and staying within a cone-shaped area for the majority of the fight. It has to be facing directly out like this, not like this or like that. The reason is to minimize the reach of other arms. They will still shoot at you, but they will only stab you if you are within range. Too far left or right, and now you're dealing with more than you need to be. They also only burrow underground when you are too close to the Caretaker, so you can avoid a lot of unnecessary damage just by staying within this area. Put your resupplies all in front here, for cover and for quick access. I would even go as far as to make a place to recover your shield should you need to. Not really a bunker, but rather a wall just to take cover. Consider choosing an area that is already close to a wall so you can do this. When the battle starts, the first thing everyone needs to focus on is the robotic arm that spawns in front of you, and no other arm. The faster that is destroyed, the faster you can move to the next step. It's important that everybody shoots at it, even if there's something else in front of you. This thing simply needs to be destroyed immediately. Once that is destroyed, everyone needs to focus on the armor and not anything else if it can be helped. And if it can't, just keep your targets on the highest priority ones, not everything. Try to keep it to the turrets, the one robotic appendage, and maybe the odd patrol bot if you can. Not only for the insane amounts of ammo you go through doing this, but you're not actually making progress here. The longer this drags on, the more likely you will go down, and even fail the mission entirely. The Caretaker should be the #1 priority. And plus, with the whole team focusing fire on the same high priority targets, they're going to be destroyed very quickly, allowing you to move on to the next phase even sooner. Another trick here is to have a perfectly timed bubble shield, and now you can all focus on the armor at the same time. However, if you throw it during a Caretaker's shield phase, then it's a waste. But if you time it right, this should give you plenty of time to do serious armor damage. If the arm closest to you spawns back at any period, repeat the process. The closest arm is your #1 target when it's up. It doesn't take hardly any time at all if everybody focuses on it, and then you can go back to armor breaking. Teleport phase bombs. When these things start spawning all over the place, there's an ancient technique that's been passed down for this very moment. Run! Move! Get out of there. Similar to when the Caretaker is using his shields, you just don't want to get hit by them. And when the bombs are done spawning and the shields have stopped, now you just go back to the first step, which is robotic arm. And of course, when it comes to dealing damage to the Caretaker itself, I highly recommend putting some range on your guns. I mean, do what you want, but armor break and range has been going a long way for me on these missions. Now I know this is going to be hard because there's tons of things shooting at you and a lot going on at the same time. So let's recap. Arm first, then destroy the armor. You're now going to try and focus on the armor over everything else. Unless the arm spawns back. Deal direct damage to the Caretaker by shooting it in the eye, then repeat. Just remember, there are exceptions. Teleport bombs, shield waves, and turrets have to be dealt with in their own ways, if they are a serious problem. But if not, you should always be aiming for the Caretaker if you can. With some good positioning, a place to gain your shield back, and maybe a well-timed bubble shield here or there, you can follow this to victory. Well, it works for me. Interested in sending in gameplay for me to coach? Or playing with me on your toughest mission? Leave a comment because that's happening. I have a ton of content that I have to finish first, but after that, I am so excited to play with you guys and get some coaching in. I'll be reviewing gameplay of your choice, and even going as far as to play with the same build to see what I would have done. I still got a lot of content to go between now and then, but I thought I would give you guys a heads up.
Rock and